Hey guys, so different setting today. Great to be back. I was thinking, since I just taught a yoga class, and for many of you, there's still lockdown time, and we are really confined and can't go out much, especially now also with the weather, at least in Berlin, that I talk a bit about meditation. I used to meditate quite a lot for years. I did like 2 hours a day. Sounds crazy, but yeah, I would sit like an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. It was actually great, because you feel in a way fantastic because you're kind of watching yourself being in the world. That's the funny thing about it. So it's kind of, you have in a way an out of body experience and you see yourself walking around doing things. And you also don't take things that serious anymore because you're kind of a little bit in a daze for the rest of the day. But I'm not talking about sitting for like an hour, but since there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment and the mind has the tendency to go crazy when it doesn't know what's going to happen in the future, it is good to calm your mind. And definitely meditation is the way to calm your mind. I said in some of the vlog posts that ultimately the goal is to just be yourself. I don't know if meditation really gets us to that point, but it definitely shaves away and calms the illusionary self or the ego, because it's definitely something the ego doesn't want to do, to get more in touch with you. And that's how we also always will encounter resistance. So the moment you sit down, something's not going to be that comfortable or so, something doesn't feel good, your ego right away will say, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? This is completely stupid. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting around here. But I always told my students that ultimately it's probably one of the best ways to spend your time meditating because a lot happens. And I also feel that by meditating, you go to a place that is not of this world, really, and you bring some of the energy from this place that's hard to describe and bring it back here. Because your radiation, your energy will change when you do this on a daily basis. Why don't we just try it? So you can sit on a chair. When I learned this, we would sit on chairs. Since I just gave the yoga class, I'm sitting here on the yoga mat, But if your hips are not open, sit on a chair. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. And we only go for a little while. If you can, cross your legs. If you sit on a chair, sit on a chair. Now what you want to try to do is to keep your back straight. So it's easier to see this way. So you don't want to slouch like this. You try, it might not be possible to get it all the way straight, but you try to straighten as much as you can. Bring your chest bone forward and then deeply inhale, exhale into your lungs. And that just the breath really slowly. And it should be as slow as when you put a sheet of paper in front of your face. That sheet of paper shouldn't even move, so you just slowly inhale, exhale. And you can inhale, exhale in your stomach here as well. That's not yoga. So just let your breath flow in and out. Now, you can put your right hand to your left hand, into your left palm. That's only a sign that you give up the active to the passive. Now, if you are an artist or a future American president, I don't even know if the current one is now a left-handed man, because a lot of them were actually left-handed, but it's a sign for creativity. I know Trump wasn't, but if you're left-handed, then put the left hand into your right hand, obviously, because that's your active side. You close your eyes and keep on inhaling, exhaling through your nose. Now, within seconds, thoughts will arise. So the mind likes to think because otherwise everything's boring and not dramatic. So it might come up with an idea or a thought. Now, if that thought is positive or negative, doesn't really matter. What you try to do is just you watch the thought and say hi thought and goodbye thought. And you do this in a non-aggressive way. So you don't say get off my face thought, you just welcome the thought and let it pass by. Then after a few seconds the next thought will arise and you do the same thing, you welcome it and let it pass by. Now, if thoughts arise that are somehow connected, these are a little tougher. So a thought arises and it's connected to another thought, like, when will this lockdown finally be over? If I have to do this for another month, I go crazy. If I go crazy, I will, I don't know, whatever. Like, it's just connected. And then, how do we get out of this train of thoughts? So in this case, you come up with a secret word. It can be any word that comes to mind. You say that word and you jump off the train of thoughts. Now after a few seconds, the next thought will arise. You welcome the thought, you let it pass by. If you encounter a train of thoughts, you do the same thing again. You say a secret word, you jump off the train of thoughts, and so on. Now focus point should be your third eye. So with closed eyes, look to the point between your eyebrows. And that's another important one here. Feel your heart. So connect to your heart. Slowly inhale, exhale through your nose. Stay here for a few minutes. Slowly inhale, exhale through your nose. You can also smile a little bit to open your heart here. And slowly open your eyes here. And that's pretty much it, you know. So this is a great exercise to calm the mind, especially in times like these when uncertainty is one thing that we definitely have, you know, more than anything else. And one thing that I can highly recommend is not to say, look, I'll sit down for like half an hour, because you will probably not. Meditation, as everything else, has to be practiced. So it's good to start with 5 minutes. Just give your mind 5 minutes of peace, 5 minutes of rest. I always call it also mental toothbrushing, because we take a lot of care of our teeth, but we don't take care of our minds at all. We just put into our minds whatever hangs around. And what you do with the meditation is to basically brush your mind and let go of stuff that's stuck there, that doesn't belong there, basically. So the basic ideas again: you sit down on a chair, you sit on the floor, you can also put something underneath your buttocks, and then you just let your thoughts come and go. Welcome it, let it pass by. If you encounter thoughts that are somehow connected, then you come up with your secret word. And when you have a secret word, you can use this forever. So that's your secret word. It's also good because it trains your mind to let go of the train of thoughts the moment you say that word. And then, you know, you connect to your heart, you look to your third eye, and the smiling connects to your heart as well. So when you connect to your heart, you should smile, but if this doesn't work, then smile, and then you connect to your heart. And then you just sit for a few minutes, and that's it. And then if you're able to sit for 5 minutes, then, well, then try it for 7.5 or 10. And then you slowly can work the time up to an hour or so. But start slow, because it's easy to be overwhelmed when you do too much at the beginning. I think it took me like a year to get to a point where I felt like I really was meditating. But when you have that moment, and I only had that a few times in my practice, when you are just gone, you're not here anymore, you disappeared as a person, your body is gone, the idea about yourself is gone, that's a fantastic feeling. I mean, it's actually the best feeling you can have, in my experience. So try it out. Thank you so much for checking out the vlog. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Namaste, thank you, bye for now, and start practicing. Thanks.